going on, guys? Cubeologist here today, and in this video we're going to be doing a new type of review. This is a compare and contrast between the Cyclone Boys G4 and the QiYi cell. These are both pretty recent and fairly inexpensive 4x4s that you can get from the Cubicle. I'll put the link down in the description, and thanks to them for sending these over. So let's talk about the differences between these two puzzles. I'm going to start off with the Cyclone Boys G4. Now the first thing you notice when you pick this puzzle up or unbox it is the size. It comes in right around 60mm, and that makes it just smaller than a regular 4x4. You can see here with the G4 on the left and the Yusu on the right that the difference is noticeable but almost negligible. But you can still tell that difference whenever you're turning this puzzle. Somehow the 3x3 stage tends to flow a little bit better for me on this smaller cube. And now that we're talking about the size of the puzzles, let's talk about this Goliath, the QiYi cell. As noticeable as the small size of the G4 was, this is the exact opposite. As soon as I unboxed this, I knew it was much larger, and in fact it is. When you put it next to the normal sized Yusu, you can see that it's not a huge difference, but it feels gargantuan. This thing absolutely feels massive and a little bit blocky whenever you're turning it. Now when I unboxed it, I said that the outer layers were amazing, and they still are. They turn really smoothly and I'm really happy with it. But whenever you're turning the inner layers, it feels a little bit blocky. You can see there that it's actually right around 65mm, but in this case 5mm makes a huge difference in feel. So like I said, out of the box, the G4 I was not that impressed with, and the cell I was actually really impressed with. But after breaking them in and setting them up, lubing the core, doing probably 50 solves on each at least, I would have to say that that has totally flip-flopped. This one is now much better than this one, and I'm really not a fan of this QiYi cell. The feel is a little bit too large for my hands, although I did like it at first. The more I practiced with it, the more I saw that my times just weren't as good. Now, whenever you solve this, it feels good if you're comparing it to an older 4x4, like a Shengxiao or even a Mata Shengxiao that isn't really broken in. This feels a lot better than that. As you can see here, it corner cuts, although this is on pretty loose tensions. Corner cuts about a whole piece forward, and reverse corner cutting is really limited. There's almost none. It locks if you go just over that. Now the G4 cuts as good on forward corner cutting, at least a piece if not a little bit over, and on reverse it's also pretty bad, and these cubes are both pretty loosely tensioned. And now to talk about the feel of both of these puzzles while solving. First off, I'll talk about the Cyclone Boys G4. It does feel like a smaller yet slightly more locky Osu, and I'm really a fan of that. It's only $12 right now on the Cubicle.us, and I think it's probably my favorite economy 4x4 on the market. I think it compares really well with the Yushin. If you like a smaller puzzle, definitely go with this G4. I think it's amazing if you're willing to set puzzles up. But yeah, it's a really good performing cube, and I really do enjoy it. And as for the cell, the only redeeming factor I could find from this QiYi puzzle is the outer layers. They turn really well, and I'm super happy with it. But in order to get this puzzle to perform the way I really wanted to, I had to loosen it up quite a bit, and it does pop occasionally. But it's still a really good puzzle, and if you have large fingers or large hands, you wouldn't fumble around as much with this puzzle. But overall, I think it's a tad bit blocky, and even though it's $3 less than the G4, I would probably spend the extra $3 to get a puzzle that performs better after it's been broken in. So in conclusion, Cyclone Boys G4, definitely a win. QiYi cell, maybe a pass. Unless you're a big time puzzle collector or you have really big hands and you just want a larger puzzle, I would say pass on this, get the G4, break it in, and see what you can do with it. But I really appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, go check out these puzzles. I'll link them down in the description to where you can go buy them at the Cubicle.us. I would definitely recommend, especially for the G4. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I hope you did, and you'll hear from me really soon, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.